Exhale through the mouth. Again, big inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And then slowly pull your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. Let the back of the skull press down towards the earth first to start. We can rock back and forth side to side. Massaging out through your low back and sacrum. And then create a little bit of pressure or resistance.
Press your shins against your hands and your hands against your shins, or if you're grabbing on with your forearms around the front part of your shins. And you're thinking about breathing into the gap in your hip. Maybe bring a little bit of rock back and forth side to side through it. So resistance, it allows us to create space. Right? Space allows us to have clarity. And then when you're ready, release the resistance and pull your knees up into your chest a little bit more. Take your breath deep into your pelvic floor. And then go ahead and extend your left leg all the way down to the end of the mat. Fingers are interlocked over the front part of your right shin. Chin tucks in towards chest. And you can bring some small shifts back and forth side to side here. Shifting from one side to the other. And then create that resistance again. So press your shin into your palms into your shin. Create that gap in your hip and breathe into that space. And then when you're ready, release the resistance and pull the knee down towards your armpit just a little bit deeper. And then when you're ready,
Release the foot. And then same thing on that second side. So pull your left knee up into your chest. Interlock the fingers around the front part of your left shin as you pull your left knee down towards your left armpit. Maybe you bring some movement through the knees, small circles, rocking back and forth side to side. And then create that resistance. Press your shin into your palms into your shin. Breathe into that small gap in your left hip. Maybe take a rock back and forth side to side again. And then release your resistance and pull the knee down towards the armpit just a little bit more. Your knee will talk to you when you hit your edge. And then slowly release, let the left foot come all the way down to meet the right. Windshield wiper your feet back and forth side to side. And then pull both knees up into your chest to bring yourself into a happy baby, reaching from the inside of the legs to the outside of the feet. Pull your low belly down towards your spine. slowly press your feet into your hands and your hands into your feet. Let your knees be your gauge, and then maybe you can bring a little rock while you still hold the resistance. Right, pay attention to any type of wobble that might happen. If one side feels heavier than the other. Okay, again, it's just all there for observation. And then release the resistance and see if you can pull the legs down towards the earth. The weight of your femur bone should be the thing that moves you in this. And then pull both soles of the feet together to touch, hands to the outside of the feet, recline round angle. You pull the arches of the feet in towards you. The knees drift out and away from you, and again, your knees are the thing that talks to you in this one. Then you press your feet into your hands into your feet, or into your ankles. Find that space of resistance again. Be mindful of your knees. Take a nice deep inhale and breathe into both your knees equally. And then on your exhale, go ahead and slowly let the outside edges of your feet move down to the mat, coming into your reclined butterfly. You can move through your knees and kind of flap your legs like wings. Always take your hands to the low part of your back to press down through the tops of your glutes to lengthen through the low back as you tuck your chin in towards your chest. Take a nice deep inhale here. Breathe all the way down and into your pelvic floor. Let it move away from your midline. And then when you're ready, pull your knees to your center line, heel toe your feet wide, let the knees knock in. If your low back wants to pull up and off the mat, think about tucking your tailbone and maybe inching up through your skull just to find full length of the spine on the floor. And rather than thinking about squeezing the outside of the glutes, let them be soft as you squeeze the inside of the thighs. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. One more time, big inhale. And then exhale slowly. Pull the knees back to the center, heel toe your feet. Back in alignment with the hips. And then from here, everyone, you're just going to do a little rock and roll on your spine to bring yourself up and into a simple seat. If you tend to cross one leg over the other, maybe change it up. The crown of the head lifts high to the sky. You can always manually move your seat back behind you. Then inhale, arms sweep high. Turn your pinky fingers in ever so slightly to broaden through the upper part of the back. Move your shoulders away from your ears. And then moon salute. Thumbs move down towards your third eye. Take a moment just to envision the world that you want to see for yourself, for your family, for your friends, and for this world. And then slowly move your thumbs to your lips so the words that you speak are in alignment with the vision that you see. And then slowly move your thumbs down to your heart, your space of consciousness, intuition, and action. So the actions that you take are in alignment with the words that you speak and the vision that you see. And then when you're ready, take your left hand to your right knee and slowly turn and twist and look out past your right shoulder. Crown of the head lifts. Shoulder blades roll down the back. Big inhale. Breathe into your right lung and your right rib cage. On your exhales, your pelvic floor drifts up towards your navel. Right, the natural flow of the pelvic floor is the inhale, it moves it away from your midline, away from your heart and down towards the earth. And then on the exhale, pelvic floor drifts up and in. And then slowly release. Sweep your arms back and high. That's up towards your pinky fingers, and then you can move through this more quickly, but thumbs to your third eye. See that vision in your head as thumbs move down to your lips, and then all the way down to your heart line. Right hand grabs onto that left knee as you slowly turn and twist, and look up past your opposite shoulder. Nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, twist. Right side of your abdomen is pulling back. Left side is pulling back and right side is pulling forward. You're breathing into the length of the spine. One more big breath here. And then exhale slowly, bring yourself all the way back to your center line, sweep your arms high. And then thumbs move past your third eye, past your lips, down to your heart line. And then you can roll over your knees and shins and bring yourself into a child's pose at the midline or the back of the mat. Big toes come together to touch. Knees can be as wide as the edges of the mat. Maybe you crawl your fingertips out in front of you a little bit more as you grip onto your mat and you allow yourself to shift back and forth, side to side through your hips. So little things for us to think about, right, as we are recognizing our bodies and releasing. There are layers of fascia that live within us. So second layer of fascia, right? The layer is attached to muscles, bones, tendons, ligaments, right? It doesn't like to be pressed and held, it likes to glide. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't take long holds, right? But if you are holding for long periods of time, right, make sure that your breath is deep, right? That's where the third layer of your fascia lives, in your organs. It's recognizing that rocking is a somatic release. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. Sink into your hips a little bit more as fingertips crawl out in front of you a little bit more. Forehead can press down towards the earth. Child's pose is great in terms of traditional Chinese medicine, right? It is linked to our lymphatic flow. So cold, flu, COVID seasons, right? Allowing yourself to come into this space. And then when you're ready, slowly shift your hips forward as your shoulders are stacked over your wrists. Your knees are underneath your hips. Press down to the tops of the feet, and you can bring yourself into a couple kind of passive rounds of cat-cow as you press and round into yourself, into your cat. And then inhale, heart and chest pull you forward into your cow. Exhale, press and round and squeeze. Set your own rhythm to your own breath and movement here. Letting the head hang heavy as you come into your cow to create some natural traction on your spine. And pressing your heart and chest forward as you come into your cow. Thinking about breathing from your coccyx, your tailbone, all the way up and into the top of the skull. And if you want to create a little bit of resistance here, you You think about tracking your wrists towards your knees and your knees towards your wrists. Tops of your feet and shins are pressing down into the earth, and you come into that same motion of cat-cow, but still trying to hold the resistance between the arms and the legs. It should feel a little bit more like work. Right, when you're done playing around with the resistance, you can always come back into that more passive movement. Pay attention to the extension that happens in your rib cage, in your lungs, and through the space of your heart. And then when you're ready, bring yourself back into your table. Tuck your toes, and then send your hips back and high and into your down dog. And down dog, hands are nice and wide on your backs. We come back into things that are familiar, right? So our body has a sense of safety, right? So it knows where it's going. So hands are nice and wide and straight. Check in with your elbows. The points of the elbows turn to look back at you. The eye of the elbow where you get blood looks away from you. So it's just an internal rotation. As your shoulders roll out, you move your shoulders away from your ears to broaden to the upper part of the back. You can swing your hips back and forth side to side, pedal out through your heels. Right, as we come into our movements, especially forward folds or inversion spaces, right, where our head is below our heart, being really, really mindful about still engaging the front side of your body. So the minute you start to feel that pull in your hamstrings, think about activating your quads, right, to support the stretch that's happening. Think a telltale sign, right, of the world right now is this space, and maybe it's this feeling of us overreaching, over lengthening. Right, we're not actually stretching to where it is that we need to go. We're just overextending, right? Not conscious, right, of what we need to be firing on the opposite end to support ourselves. Take one more big breath here. And then slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet at the back of your mat. Let yourself just hang out here. Running down through your feet. You can put as much of a bend in the knees as you need to. Maybe lay your whole heart and chest over the tops of your thighs. Again, take notice of the natural weight of your head. Let it open up the vertebra that's in your neck. Maybe draw some small circles on the floor underneath you. Again, maybe you shake your head yes, and maybe you shake it no. And then your hands are going to move up the front part of the feet and shins, flat back. You work to straighten the legs, not by pressing back through your knees, but by engaging your quads and lifting through your hips and pressing down through the soles of your feet. Big inhale here. If the toes are gripping, pull them up and off the mat, spread them wider, set them down gently. And then on your exhale, engage your low belly to support your sacrum as you let yourself fall down back over the tops of the thighs. If you want more support, put more of a bend in the knees, right? And let the legs support your chest. And then on the next inhale, engage your low belly, and then slowly sweep yourself all the way up to stand. Arms come high to the sky. Turn your pinky fingers in ever so slightly, while your shoulders away from your ears. And then again, hands come into prayer, moon salute. And then hands move down past your lips and all the way down to your heart. Hands move all the way down to your sides. We'll do one sun salutation as the sun is setting, and then we'll move into a moon salute. Yeah. Okay. So inhale, arms sweep high overhead. Exhale, fold yourself down and over the tops of the thighs. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Engage your quads. Exhale, let your hands move down to the earth and walk yourself back up and into a plank. Big inhale. Drop down to the knees, untuck the toes, lower all the way down to the chest and belly. Hands are right next to your bust line, and you're going to roll your shoulder blades down your back. Tops of the feet press down to the earth as the knees lift, and then you peel your heart and chest up into your baby cobra. Try to squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another. Your gaze is soft. You release any tension that you're holding in your jaw. And then exhale, release. Let your heart and chest move down to the earth. Release any tension that you're holding in your glutes, and then tuck your toes. Press to your knees, and then set your hips. Back and high, down dog. Spread the hands nice and wide on the mat. Send the hips back a little bit higher. Engage your low belly. Breathe into your tailbone. And then for the fun of it, because I've been doing this one a lot, we'll step wide into a Malasana first before we come into moon salute. Drop your hips down. You can always take a block underneath your seat. Hands to your heart line and your elbows to the inside of your knees. Press into your palms, your legs and your elbows with the same amount of force as the crown of the head continues to lift. Breathe deep into your pelvic floor. And then from here, everyone, take your hands down to the earth and lift through your hips. Your hands are going to move in between your legs. You still have a bend in the knees, and then fingers are going to come around to wrap to the outside of your ankles. Your knees are going to hug your shoulders to the upper part of your biceps, and your biceps or your shoulders are going to, your triceps are going to hug your knees. And then from here, you're just going to do small little pulses, lifting and lowering through your seat. Firing up through your hips and finding your resistance. If you're like, Erin, this is awful and I do not want to do this, you do not have to. You can always hang in a forward fold. For 2 more pulses. And then when you're ready, slowly release. Hands come down to the earth. Heel toe your feet back behind your wrists. Inhale, hands to your shins, flat back. Exhale, let yourself fall over the tops of the thighs. And then inhale, scoop yourself all the way back up to stand. Arms come high. Exhale, moon salute. Hands move past your third eye. And then down to your heart center. And then hands come down to your sides. Nice job, girl. Inhale and sweep high. Take yourself into a chair pose. Seat moves back as heart and chest pull high. Feet can be hip width distance apart or together to touch. Take your preference. And you always do the same thing. Change it up. Big inhale. On your exhale, let yourself fall down over the tops of your knees. Knees support the chest. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, take your palms down to the earth and step your feet back into a plank pose. You can take a full chaturanga, or you can just take the hips back and into your down dog, whatever feels best. sky. Big inhale here. Spot your right thumb and step your right foot up to meet your right hand. Left toes can hop out and over. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Big inhale. On your exhale, drop your back heel, warrior one, and then ground down through your feet and open yourself up and into your warrior two. Right foot forward, left foot back. Flip your front palm, take it forward, and spin it back. Once you find your extension and your reverse warrior, put a little bit more of a bend in your front knee and move it towards your baby toe to open up through your hips. And then breathe into your pelvis. And then from here, everyone straighten through the front leg. Keep a little mini micro bend in that right knee as you reach through your right fingertips. Hand comes down to shin. Opposite hand comes high to the sky. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Pull yourself all the way back and up. Turn your toes out and your heels in, star pose. Arms come high, up and overhead, big inhale. On your exhale, take a seat into your goddess. Heart and chest lift as your tailbone tucks. Knees try to track out past your second and third toe. Hold here for 3, for 2, and 1, and then right forearm comes down to the top of the right thigh as the left fingertips reach past the head. And then flip that left palm and let it guide you over to that opposite side. Left forearm comes down to the top of the left thigh, right fingertips reach. Right bicep pulls back by your ear. Big inhale here. Exhale, put the right palm and let it guide you back up. And then arms come high. As you press down through the soles of the feet and lift yourself back into your star pose. You're going to pivot on your right heel and you're going to turn towards the back of the room, back of the space. Left foot in front, right foot 45-degree angle. Do a little mini half hop with your right foot. So you're going to shorten your stance. Arms are up and overhead, big inhale. On your exhale, pull back through your left hip. Pull forward with your right. Try to activate your quads as you pull yourself down and so. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale, hold. One more time, big inhale. Exhale, put a bend in the knees and plant the palms. Step your right foot back, your left foot steps back to meet it. You can take a flow if you want, or you can just send your hips back and high down dog. Nice deep inhale. Again, pedal out. Inhale, right leg high to the sky, 3-legged dog. Spot your right foot up to meet your right hand, left toes hop out and over. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Drop your back left heel and hold yourself in warrior one for a breath. And then ground down to the soles of the feet as you pivot through your hips and bring yourself into your warrior two. Nice movement home. Big inhale. Reaching up past your middle finger. Think about breathing into your heart space. Big inhale. Settle through your hips. Think about softening through your legs, right? Your legs can both be soft and strong. And then flip your front palm, take it forward, and then take it back. Reversing your warrior. Once you find that extension, sink a little bit more into your front right knee. Move it towards your baby toe. Big inhale. And then on this side, everyone, we're coming down into a side angle pose. So you take your right hand down to the inside of the right foot. or to a block. Left hand comes side of the sky. You can always do the casual hang out on top of the thigh too. Breathe into the tips of your left fingers. Hold for 3, 2, and on 1, y'all, you're going to sweep your left bicep past your face and pivot on your right heel and drop yourself into a wide angle forward fold. Allow yourself just to kind of shift back and forth side to side here. Think about shifting the weight of your hips over your heels. Right, forward fold is another one where we're activating, right, our quads. Right, we're releasing through our hamstrings, so be sure to give your body support. You're hinging at your hips. Crown of the head pulls down towards the earth. Hold and breathe for 3, for 2. And on 1, hands come to your hips. Pull yourself up halfway. Make sure the legs are engaged. And then slowly pull yourself all the way back up to stand. Arms come high. And then you're going to pivot yourself back towards the front of your mat. Arms come up and overhead, a big inhale. Press into your palms and then take yourself down and over and into your pyramid pose. Pull back through your left hip, pull forward with your right, maybe keep a little bend through your left knee. Hold and breathe for 4. For 3. Slow, steady breath on 2. And 1. Put a bend through both of your knees, palms plant. Step your right foot back. Your left foot steps back to meet it. You can take a flow or send your hips back and high and into your down dog. If you prefer to push back into child's pose for 3 or 4 breaths, you have that option. Allow your body to find that reset again. You're checking with hands, elbows, shoulders, hamstrings, quads. One more big breath here. We'll all meet back in our down dog. And then on your next inhale, left leg comes high to the sky, 3-legged dog, big inhale. Spot your left thumb and step your left foot up to meet your left hand, and then inhale, high crescent lunge. Think about balancing out through your hips, trying not to grip with your toes with the back foot or the front grounded leg. And then from here, drop your back heel, warrior one for a moment as you press down through the soles of the feet, and then you open yourself up and into your warrior 2. Let your upper body feel lifted, okay, as your lower body feels grounded. Check in with your arms. Maybe you close your eyes. Get a sense of if your arms are in alignment. Big inhale. Flip your front palm, take it forward, and spin yourself back. Once you find your extension, you put that bend in your front knee again. come down into a back bend if you're crushing your spine. Right? Lift through your heart. Your heart is a muscle, so that it pull you up. And then slowly pull yourself up, straighten through your front left leg, hinge at the hip, and then left hand comes down to shin as right hand comes high. Again, it doesn't matter how far you come down in this one, right? Try to give your hips some space. Go towards your right fingertips. Hold here for 4. Breathe a little more deeply on 3. For 2. And for 1, use the strength of your right palm to pull you up as your toes kick out and your heels kick in. Star pose. Big inhale. On your exhale, take yourself down and into your goddess. Tuck your tailbone. Your heart lifts. You can always shift yourself back and forth, side to side, through your hips. Again, upper body feels lifted, lower body feels grounded. Take your attention to your sacrum and breathe into that space. And then same thing again on this side. Yeah, let's take the left forearm down to the left thighs, right fingertips reach up and over. We have the tendency to want to shift to the left, so pull your pelvis back to your center line as you roll your heart and chest open a little bit more. Hold for 3. 2. And 1, use the strength of the right palm to pull you over and through and down to the right hand side. Left fingertips reach. You're breathing into the left hand side of your body. Upper part of your body should still feel light. Breathe into your heart. Hold for 3. 2. 1. Pull yourself all the way back and up. Arms can raise high. Lower your seat down one more time. And then inhale. Bring yourself into your star pose. You're going to pivot yourself towards the back of the mat. So pivot on the heels. Right foot on straight. Left foot to that 45-degree angle. Inhale, arms up and overhead and hands in prayer. Big inhale. And then on your exhale, bring yourself down and over the top of your right thigh. I personally like to take my hands to my hips and pull my right hip back and my left hip forward a little bit. If you need to shorten your stance on this one, please do so. Right? Alignment of your hips is more important again than the depth of the posture. Hold here and breathe. You have the option of tucking chin towards your chest and trying to drive your forehead towards your knee. Hold for 3. For 2. And 1. Slowly put a bend through that front right knee. Plant the palm. Step the left foot back. Right foot steps back to meet it. Take your flow or press yourself directly back and into your down dog. Find your reset here. So check in with your spine. Phew. Okay, sorry. And next inhale. Take your left leg high to the sky. Big inhale. Find the extension through your foot. The lift comes from the upper part of the hamstring, the lower part of your glute. If you want to come into a scorpion dog, you can do it on the first side. You always have that option, right? Stacking hips. And then spot your left thumb and step your left foot up to meet your left hand. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Arms come high to the sky, check in with your hips. And then drop your back heel, warrior one, right before you move yourself into your warrior two. Nice deep inhale. Hold here. Let your body find some softness in the posture. Reach to the fingertips, and then flip the front palm, take it forward, and spin yourself back. Once you find that extension, then you can bend the knee again. Activate your right quad so you're not falling into your low back and sacrum. Hold here for 3. Breathe deep into the base of the belly for 2. And then for 1, take that left hand down to the inside of the left foot. Right hand comes high to the sky and into your side angle pose. I like to slide my back foot way back in the stomach. Roll open through your heart and chest and think about tucking your left hip underneath your right as your right hip bone peels back a little bit more. Hold and breathe for 3. For 2. And on 1, sweep your right bicep past your face, everybody, and then you're going to swing yourself into your wide angle forward fold. Toes kick in, heels kick out. Crown of the head pulls down towards the earth. Shift the weight of your hips forward as crown of the head reaches underneath you. Any other movement that you want to bring into your hips in this one, right? You have that option. Alright, so that your mat's your space where you can explore your own bodies, right? Safely, with comfort and care. One more big breath here. And then hands come to your hips, pull yourself up halfway, engage your glutes, activate your quads, and pull yourself all the way back up to stand. Arms come high, up and overhead. Kick the toes out, heels in, and then you're going to pivot yourself back towards the front of the mat. Right foot in front, left foot behind, palms come into prayer. Big inhale. And then on your exhale, let your heart and chest lead you down and over the top of your hips. If you want to tuck your chin in towards your chest, you have that option. And again, you can always find a little bit of movement here. Shifting forward through your left hip a little bit more, shifting back with your right. And then from here, everyone, take your palms down to the earth. Step your right foot back. Left foot steps back to meet it. You can lower all the way down through your chaturanga, or just send your hips back and high and into your neck. And then from here, y'all, go ahead and drop to your knees, untuck your toes, and bring yourself back into your child's pose. Allow yourself just to be grounded. With your heads down, if you do not want any type of adjustment at the last part of the class. Can you just take a hand to the sky for me, and I'll respect your space. Also, does anyone have an allergy to peppermint oil? Okay. And if at any point you change your mind, because that's how consent works, right, you can just shoo me away. Take a nice deep inhale and crawl your fingertips out in front of you again. On your exhale, engage your low belly and let your hips drift back towards your heels as you try to press your low belly all the way up as I come around into my palm towards your sacrum. As you breathe deep into the top of your lungs. Three more breaths here. On every inhale, you have the option of crawling your fingertips out. On every exhale, you send your pelvic floor back towards your heart. You find that lock, that Ula Bandha lock. Space between navel, pubic bone, right? And pelvic floor. When you're ready, you can crawl your hands off to the right-hand side of your mat. Your left hand can weave into the webbing of your bottom hand, or you can just extend beyond it. I like to weave the webbing so I can pull back through my hip a little bit more. It's still engaging, right, the right-hand side of the body to support the stretch that's happening on the left. Heart and chest turn down towards the earth a little bit more, and you breathe into your left lung and your left rib cage. Two more breaths on this side. Big inhale. Draw your attention into the tops of your thighs and let them soften. One more breath here. Big inhale. And exhale. Slowly walk your hands over to the opposite side. Right hand can stand on top of your left. Pull back through your right hip. Engage your lower belly, pull towards your sacrum. Two more breaths here. And slowly walk your hands back to your center line. Breathe into your armpits and all of your lymph nodes. Breathe into the soles of your feet. Take a breath into the top of your skull. Slowly walk your hands back towards your knees. And then go ahead and shift yourself down onto your seat. And then bring yourself all the way down and onto your backs. Right ankle crosses over the top of the left knee, coming into your reclined figure 4. Again, you can create a little bit of resistance if you like here. I recommend not using your elbow as the space, but just taking your right hand to the inside of the right thigh and the left hand back behind the left hamstring, and find an equal press with your tricep on the right hand side and your right elbow supported. Try to keep your low back down towards the earth. And then maybe allow yourself just to rock back and forth side to side ever so slightly. So we tend to hold guilt and shame in our hips. You don't have to go to specific memories. Okay, you can just keep it general in terms of the feeling. Right, and then rooting yourself into the belief, right, that you know that you are consciously releasing. You set your intention, you move with authenticity, right, and you let things go. And we come back to it again. Again and again. And then slowly release the right ankle from the top of the left knee. Same thing on that second side. Left ankle drapes to the top of the right leg. Left hand inside of the thigh. Right hand back behind your hamstring. As you find that space where you press the arms or the hands into the legs and the legs into the hands with the same amount of force. And remind yourself it doesn't have to be a ton of force to create a gap. It's like the difference between like a credit card leaving the door open and deciding to kick it in, right? Two different things, you still get the job done. Allow yourself to bring some movement into your hips. And then slowly release. Pull your knees up into your chest. Give yourself one more big hug before you bring yourself all the way down and into your Shavasana. Nice deep inhale through the nose.